I'm actually getting this recorded on Saturday right after we go through it. So, Exodus chapter 6. I'm not going to go through the second half of the chapter on this video, mostly because I have a super hard time pronouncing all the names. And the last thing I want is somebody getting a hold of me going, oh, well, you said that name wrong. I believe that lineage is very important. I've been studying lineage a little bit more. It's exciting stuff. I would say go and read chapter 6 and see what I'm talking about. And you just see like where different tribes come from, where the lineages broke off, where, uh, how everybody got from where they were to where they're going, right? But anyway, chapter 6. Yeah, we had a lot to talk about. It took us almost an hour and a half to get through this short. We read through the second half, but I'm only going to go through the first half today, right? So the chapter starts with "But the Lord said to Moses," or "The Lord said to Moses." So that means we have to go back, right? Because something happened right before that, and that was if you remember, at the end of chapter 5, Moses is going to God, telling him like, "Yo, you know what? We made a mistake. We shouldn't have done this. The people were upset." Because he said in chapter 5, verse 22, "Then Moses turned to the Lord and said, 'O Lord, why have you done evil to this people? Why did you ever send me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to this people, and you have not delivered your people at all.'" Moses is like, "Oh, God, you know what? I don't think your plan works. I don't think you're outside of time. I don't think you understand all this stuff. We're in trouble. We're facing affliction. So this is awful." Chapter 6, verse 1, "But the Lord says to Moses, 'Now you shall see what I will do to Pharaoh, for with a strong hand he will send them out, and with a strong hand he will drive them out of his land.' God spoke to Moses and said to him, 'I am the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as God Almighty, but by my name, the Lord, I did not make myself known to them.'" Dude, it was just like this level of crazy. Like how fast Moses is like getting tossed to and fro, right? And then how much we get tossed to and fro. Like we see ourselves in Moses here is like, you know, Moses is on fire. God came and spoke to him, shows him the leprosy, shows him the staff turned to a snake, shows him the blood. Then he goes to Pharaoh, does it. He tells him, gives him solutions to every excuse that Moses is coming up with. Yet God's firing back with like, well, your brother's going to talk for you. Well, I'm going to do this to prove it, and this and this. And then these people chirp in his ear, and now all of a sudden he's like, oh, you know what? And he's just back and forth, right? Like how fast Moses turns, how fast he gives up on God and his promises. And we do it all the time. And, I asked the question today, how was Moses not sold out? Like, he's been gone for 40 years, comes back, he walks into Pharaoh's room. He's not imprisoned, he's not beheaded. God already told him Pharaoh's going to deny him. And then he promised him that they were all going to leave Egypt and take all the stuff. But then why are we not sold out? You know, why do we turn back? Why do we forget the things that God, and like I think I said in the last video, I've been going through Deuteronomy and God keeps saying over and over again, like, remember the things I've done, remember the promises I kept, remember I continue to do that stuff. You just got to recognize it. Um, and so I'm going to keep going a little bit because I think these next couple notes are in the next couple verses. Uh, In verse 4, he says, "I also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land in which they lived as sojourners. Moreover, I have heard the groaning of the people of Israel, whom the Egyptians hold as slaves. And I have remembered my covenant. Say therefore to the people of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians." And he, uh, why is it that people are very quick, depending on who they get around and what's being talked in their ear? I mean, just think of like 2020, right? The media pumps everybody's head full that everybody's going to die, that we were going to see a third of the population die from a virus unless X, Y, or Z was taking place. They forgot God's promise. They forgot everything. If He is with me, who shall be against me? I did not give you a spirit of fear, right? But yet, everybody was living in fear. And that may be a very unpopular opinion. It's going to hurt some people's feelings. And I'm glad to see the people that change their mind from that perspective. But there are plenty of people that are still living in that fear. But they turn back, right? Sunday morning, pastor gets you fired up. But then Monday morning, you're at work and you hear somebody says, oh, my grandmother passed away this weekend. It's like, oh, yeah. It's like, well, your God was so real. And then it's like, oh, maybe, there's this doubt, right, that keeps coming and going. And why are people like that? And there was only three people that we talked about today that God talks about faithful and righteous, and it was Job, Noah, and Daniel, right, that didn't doubt, that they clung to, held on to through it all, right? I even think of, like, now God didn't say it, but I think of David, right, when everybody was telling him, you silly little boy. And he was like, my God's bigger than that. I don't have to worry about it. But here's Moses talking to God, speaking to him, hearing from him, and doubt it, right? And that's crazy, crazy, crazy to me. But you didn't see Job waver. You didn't see Noah waver. You didn't see Daniel waver. It was just like, all right, yeah, you do what you want. Have your way. I'll do whatever you need me to do. One man had everything ripped from him. One man is told to work tirelessly and basically save humanity. And the other one is told, hey, don't worship your God or we're going to throw you the lions. And never once, I can't do that. But anyway, verse 6, I'm going to start in verse 6. Say therefore to the people of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will deliver you from slavery to them, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great acts of judgment. I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God, and you shall know that I am the Lord your God, who has brought you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. I will bring you into the land that I swore to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. I will give it to you for a possession. I am the Lord. That's what he's saying, dude. He's putting it right in his face. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. Just listen to me. And the I will and the I am statements are very, 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 very powerful. Even Jesus says, who do you say that I am? Who do you say that I am? Who do you say that I am? And when people ask me, he says, I am. And so, like, that, we need to be clinging to that when we hear that voice, when we have that movement in our heart, when the Spirit's, trying to direct us in a direction. We need to be clinging to that, like, I am is speaking to me, and he will. Moses spoke thus to the people of Israel, but they did not listen to Moses because of their broken spirit and hard slavery. They asked to be saved. It's not going the way they thought it should, so they turn their back on God. How many times do people do that in our world? Oh, man, God, I want you to do this. Well, he's doing it, but he's just not in your time or doesn't look the way you want it to. And so you turn your back. You're angry. Oh, well, you know what, God, forget about it. I don't want it. Oh, God, give me patience. God says, okay, I'm going to test you. You're going to earn patience. And people, oh, never mind. It's too hard. I don't want it. And they turn back. God, I want you to grow my faith. Okay, I'm going to give you areas to grow your faith. Well, this is too hard, too scary, too uncomfortable. I don't like it. And so they turn back. And right here, their broken spirit. We just can't become broken spirited. We're going to if we're not walking in the Spirit, but we can't become broken spirited. We need to align. Verse 10, so the Lord said to Moses, go in and tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, let the people of Israel go out of his land. But Moses said to the Lord, behold, the people of Israel have not listened to me. How then shall Pharaoh listen to me? For I am an uncircumcised lips. Now Moses is doubting God, don't believe him, and says, oh, well, if they don't, then he's always got excuses, right? Which we do. We have that all the time. God tells us to go talk to somebody. It's like, well, I don't have time. I want you to go help that person. Nah, I got to get to work. Go tell that person about me. They're going to make fun of me. Well, go witness to that group of people. They're going to reject me. I'm going to lose my business. I'm going to lose money. I might get fired. So, verse 13, but the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron and gave them a charge about the people of Israel and about Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt. He's charging them with it. He's commanding it. Then in 14, we go into the different lineages. And it all leads to Aaron and Moses, to whom the Lord said, this is in 26, these are the Aaron and Moses to whom the Lord said, bring out the people of Israel from the land of Egypt by their hosts. It was they who spoke to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, about bringing out the people of Israel from Egypt. This Moses and this Aaron. On the day when the Lord spoke to Moses in the land of Egypt, the Lord said to Moses, I am the Lord. Tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say to you. But Moses said to the Lord, behold, I am of uncircumcised lips. How will Pharaoh listen to me? He's scared. His fear. And I think a pride, right, is the root of fear. Because, well, I don't want X, Y, or Z to happen. If you don't have pride, what do you have to be scared of, right? And so the level of fear, right? God has done so much, and we haven't. We're looking back on all these things, and yet we still live the same way. And so it should be a call to us of like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be hanging on to X, Y, and Z because I'm looking back at Moses, going, man, how dare you? But then I can see what God did all the way back then, and yet there's days where I wake up and I go, I don't know if I can do that. And I've got my excuses. Well, God, financially, I'm not in a position. God, I sinned this morning, so I don't think I can do that. Well, God, but God, well, maybe God. Well, what after? Well, what if? Could you? Who am I negotiating? I'm negotiating with the Creator. Who am I? So that was chapter 6. I would recommend going back, reading the lineage. It's pretty cool. And if you take the different lineages that they talk about in different areas, powerful stuff. I just didn't want to butcher all the names, and it takes me a minute to read through it because I sit there and go slow. So uh, there's chapter 6. A little bit smaller of a group. Invite your friends. Invite your friends. You come in. Next Saturday. Next Saturday, we're going through Exodus chapter 7, which I love. Exodus chapter 7 gets me fired up. It's exciting. This right here is a moment where it's like no reason to doubt God in anything, and no reason to turn away from or have any reason not to walk in the Spirit. So, something to think about. Definitely tune in next week. If you can join us, awesome. Do it. Uh, we had some things we're praying for a big one that we don't forget as quick as Moses. For the group of the guys here, that we can push that on other people as well, and just, man, walking in the Spirit. Big prayer, walking in the Spirit, walking in the Spirit. So that's what we got, man. I hope you enjoyed chapter 6. Go and read it. It is good stuff. Join us if you're available, and if not, come in here sometime, meet some people, walk around the match, check the place out. That's all we can do for you. So God bless you guys, and I hope to see you on the mat soon.